She flew across the country with a suitcase full of gifts, a pie dish, and the hope that this year, finally, her family meant it when they said it wouldn't be the same without you. But when she landed, no one came. What she discovered next changed everything. This is the story of a grandmother, a mother, forgotten or rather unwelcomed without a seat at the dining table. Listen until the end of today's story to find out what she did next, or did she suffer in silence? Please also let us know which part of the world you're listening from. Also, subscribe to our channel. Diana Hartman, 74, had lived alone in a quiet neighborhood in Schenectady, New York, ever since her husband passed. Her days were filled with crossword puzzles, chamomile tea, and the occasional chat with her bridge group. So when her son Daniel called her just 3 days before Thanksgiving, it was unexpected. His voice was syrupy, unusually warm. "Hey, Mom, the kids were asking about you. We'd love to have you here this year," he said. Tessa, Daniel's wife, had followed up with a cheerful text, "Fly out, Grandma. Kids can't wait. It wouldn't be the same without you." That part, "wouldn't be the same without you," did something to Diana. It had been years since she felt truly wanted, not just needed. She didn't hesitate. She booked a flight to Chicago O'Hare, used her emergency Christmas fund, and even splurged on a new Navy cardigan. She packed 2 books for the kids, a box of truffles Tessa once liked, and her best pie dish. For the first time in years, she felt a flicker of excitement. Diana's plane landed right on time, 3:10 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. She stood beneath the arrival sign at Gate C11 in O'Hare's bustling terminal, her coat folded neatly over one arm, suitcase beside her. Around her, families reunited, hugs, laughter, signs with "Welcome Home" written in bold markers. But no one came for her. She checked her phone. No messages. Just a social media notification. Out of habit, she opened it. There they were. Daniel in the navy sweater she had mailed him last Christmas. Tessa, glowing as always. Maya and Lucas all smiles. A fully set Thanksgiving table. Candles, turkey, mashed potatoes. A pie, definitely not hers. The caption read, "Full house, full hearts. Happy Thanksgiving from our family to yours." Diana reread it. There was no mistake, no space for her at that table. She didn't cry, she didn't text, she just walked. Past the taxis, past the parking shuttles. Her shoes pinched as she made her way into Des Plaines, Illinois, the late November wind biting at her face. After nearly a mile, she saw it, a squat little diner with a flickering neon sign. Harper's Cafe. Inside, it smelled like cinnamon, grease, and warmth. A waitress named Kelsey greeted her with a bright, happy Thanksgiving hun. Diana ordered pumpkin pie and tea. She ate slowly, deliberately. It was the best pie she'd had in years, not because it was perfect, but because it was hers. That night, she stayed at the Valley Inn, a low-slung budget motel off the main road. The room was plain but warm. She turned off her phone and pulled out a notebook she used for grocery lists. On a blank page, she wrote, "I am not spare, I am not extra, I am not a side dish at someone else's table." And then she underlined it. By morning, her phone had lit up with texts from Daniel and Tessa. "Mom, where are you? We thought your flight was tomorrow. Please come by the house. No apology, no ownership." Just confusion, as if she were the one who had forgotten. Diana didn't reply. Instead, she returned home to Schenectady, brewed a cup of tea, and opened a folder in her drawer labeled Daniel. Inside were receipts, transfers, mortgage cosigns, and unpaid promises. She flipped through each page like bandages pulled from old wounds. Then she opened a thinner folder labeled Lena, Daniel's daughter from his first marriage. Inside, handwritten cards, photos, a graduation announcement, and sticky note thank yous. That afternoon, Diana called her longtime attorney, Mr. Richard Feldman, and said, "I'd like to change my will." The next day, she walked into Mr. Feldman's small office near Union Street. She wore her navy cardigan, scuffed shoes, and a quiet strength. "I want to establish a trust," she said. "Everything I own. I want it to go to Lena, and only Lena." Mr. Feldman nodded, unfazed. He'd seen the heartbreak of inheritance before. They worked through her pension, home, savings, CDs. Every asset moved into the trusts. When it was done, she signed with a steady hand. Not out of vengeance, but clarity. A week later, a letter arrived at Lena's apartment in Worcester. A day later, the phone rang. "Grandma?" Lena's voice trembled. "I got your letter. I didn't know what happened. Dad said you canceled." "I was there," Diana said softly. "I saw the photos." "I'm so sorry," Lena whispered. "Can I come visit next weekend?" Diana smiled. "The guest room is ready." That Saturday, Diana stood at the Schenectady train platform. When Lena stepped off in her hoodie and beanie, she ran straight into her grandmother's arms. They spent the weekend playing chess, drinking tea, and talking. Really talking. "I used to think being quiet was a kind of grace," Diana said, "but I think it just made me easy to ignore." "You don't have to be quiet here," Lena replied. "Not ever." Diana felt something shift in her chest, something warm and still. After Lena left, Diana got back to work. She cataloged every expense she'd ever covered for Daniel and Tessa. Down payments, medical bills, tuition, grocery runs. It filled 4 pages. That same day, she revoked Daniel's power of attorney, canceled automatic transfers, and had the new trust documents notarized by Arjun Patel, a kind-eyed notary at the local shipping store. She wasn't hiding anything. She was simply finished. Days later, a knock came. Tessa stood on Diana's porch, heels clicking on the wood. "This is all a misunderstanding," she began. "Greg thought your flight was Friday." "And a Thanksgiving photo?" Diana asked. Tessa faltered. "It was just something I posted." "You didn't come to make things right," Diana said calmly. "You came to see if I'm still useful. I'm not angry. I'm just done." She closed the door behind her with the softest click. Greg called. He had seen the legal papers. "I just don't understand," he said. "After everything?" "Exactly," Diana said. "After everything." She didn't scream. She didn't justify. She simply said, "You forgot me, and now I remember myself." She mailed Lena the silver earrings she'd once saved for Maya's 16th birthday. Simple, elegant, tucked inside a soft cloth. Along with them, she included a photocopy of the trust and a handwritten note on pale stationery. "These are yours. Not because you asked, but because you showed up. You're never invisible in this house. Not then, not now, not ever." 3 days later, Diana's phone rang. It was Lena, her voice trembling, caught somewhere between laughter and tears. "Grandma," she said, breathless. "I don't even know what to say." Diana smiled softly, holding the phone to her chest for a beat before answering. "You already said everything, sweetheart," she replied gently. "You said it the day you stepped off that train, the day you showed up without needing a reason. That was enough." There was a long pause on the other end. Then the only words Lena could manage, "I love you." And this time, Diana let the tears come. On the first Sunday of December, Diana decorated her porch, not for guests, but for herself. A pine wreath, warm lights, a kettle on the stove. She poured a cup of tea and set the table for one. 2 candles glowed, not for absence, but for presence. She whispered aloud, "I'm still here," no longer waiting for a seat at someone else's table, because she had claimed her own. If you were her, standing alone at that airport, pie in hand and heart in pieces, what would you have done? Please let us know your honest thoughts and opinions in the comments below, and please subscribe to our channel. And thank you for listening to Fragile Stories.